So it's a new month, and I'm sure we're all ready to reset and start fresh. Because if you're like me, planning for the month as an overwhelmed mom is essential for when you need to feel in control with everything that's going on in the day to day. So if you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm Cherry, a stay at home mom of three. I'm going to be going over how I prepare and reset for the new month using my digital planner that I created in Notion. I designed this planner specifically to help with decision fatigue and the mental overload that we have as moms. If you know, then you know. And so for this monthly reset, I'm going to be going over everything from goals to meal planning to weekly planning to my content calendar to cleaning trackers, habit trackers, and all of that stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I've tried so many different types of planners, paper planners, different types of apps, but nothing really fit for what I needed right now in this moment, in this season that I'm in. Just never fit the way that my mind works. And I just found myself constantly rewriting things, forgetting what I already wrote, or I would just start getting overwhelmed anyway with the way that the layout was for that type of system. And so that's why I created my own digital planner in Notion, because it works for me. It's organized the way that I understand it. I just needed a system that worked for my daily chaos. Before the month starts, I like to block out some time to reset for the month using my planner, mentally prepare for the month. Basically, just dedicate some sit down intentional time to plan and make some realistic intentions for the month. So here is my life map. Here is the digital planner that I created in Notion. It is nothing fancy, not Pinterest perfect, but it's a system that has been working for me for the last couple of months. I am going to be going over my monthly reset specifically only. It's my guide to how I prepare and reset for the month. These are the two questions that I ask myself in the beginning of the month for me to think about what I really want to focus on. What is one word or intention for the month? And I put work smarter, because as a stay-at-home mom and also as a small content creator, I feel like I've been working extremely hard to grow and to balance out being a content creator and a stay-at-home mom. And I just feel like I'm working too hard. I'm getting burnt out easily. And I feel like there's strategies and systems in place that I can be doing to be better at it, because I know that there's a lot of successful people out there who do it for a living, and I know I can do it too. I just need to work smarter. So I put that there for my whole monthly focus. For my 3 priorities for the month, I am also in my self-prioritizing season. So I'm trying to punch in some self-care time for myself. I can't pour from an empty glass. And so I'm trying to fill up my glass so that I can be better for my family. And so I put in some self-care time every day for at least 10 minutes. And 10 minutes every day is ideal for me right now. I'm going to be showing you how I plug that into my calendar. Every mom that I've talked to struggles with this. Planning out your meals or just deciding what you're going to eat for dinner is one of the most irritating and overwhelming tasks that we have to do as parents, as default parents. I feel like I need to take more action on doing freezer meals, because crockpots are like a game changer, and I need to utilize it more so that I don't get stressed out about what we're going to eat for dinner. And then I also put film 2 YouTube videos per week. Now, I know 2 is a lot, but I am trying to double down on my YouTube channel so that I can grow. And so I put that there just as a reminder for myself. I am the type of person that likes to see things by the week. If you suffer from decision fatigue like me, having to keep the things that are repeating all the time every day in your head constantly gets overwhelming. I like having the repeating tasks that always happen for me every week already listed out and easy for me to just glance at, and then I'll plug it into my planner. So I'm going to show you an example. So this is my repeating tasks that happen for me in my life basically every week. I go grocery shopping for the week to restock on things one day out of the week. And so I know that that's always going to happen. It's going to repeat itself all the time. And so instead of writing it down in my planner, and I'm not, there's no shade to the people who like to write things down over and over again for the week or the month. I'm just saying for me, that just overwhelms me because then it's just I have to do one more thing on my list and plug it in. But in my planner, I just have it already ready to go. And then all I do is drag and drop where I'm going to do that weekly grocery shopping. And then that's it. I just drag and drop it into here and it is a game changer. Trust me. Meal prep. I'm going to do it on Sunday. Trash and check mail. Probably do it on Wednesday. These are the repeating tasks that happen for me every week. And I just like putting it into the planner so I can figure out when ideally I can do things. It's not set in stone. I can always change it around, which is what I like too about this. And then I will also plug in whatever was in my brain dump onto my planner too. So like, for example, we have to cut the boys' hair. So I have to put that onto here. I have meetings for my son's school for his autism. I have orientation for my son's preschool. So I have to plug those into my planner too for the month. But the beautiful thing about this is that the ideas are already there. Most of the ideas are already there. I just have to plug them into my planner. And then when the new week comes in, have to just click on this beautiful button here for new repeating tasks, and the whole list will come right back up of all the tasks that repeat in my week. It's just the best thing ever, and I wish I found this before. I wish I found this sooner, but better late than never. So like I said, I have to plug in everything that was in my brain dump into my weekly planning too, and then I will move on to the next part. This is another part of my planner that I'm so excited to be sharing with you. Remember how I said it's my self-prioritizing season? So in my self-prioritizing season, I created a self-care menu so that I can pick and choose from this menu, just like we do at restaurants and at stores where there's options. I pick and choose from the menu of what I want to do for self-care that day or that week. So you can see here, I have 4 categories on the self-care menu. But it costs money, things at home, free, and then outside. So obviously there's going to be some overlap in here where something that's outside can be also free. Something at home can cost money, but I like to see it this way so that, right, with the lessening the decision fatigue that I've been struggling with, having everything already mapped out in a menu for me where I can just go in and pick and choose. It helps me with focusing on what really matters in here and things that I should be using my brain power for instead of things like this where I can just plan ahead of time and then just pick from the menu. If I'm picking from the self-care menu to plug into my planner for the week, I will probably choose a solo beach day. That type of self-care is something that I really need sometimes so that I can recover from the stress that I've been feeling all week. Beach day by myself, or I could do something that is costly like a manicure because I haven't gotten one in like ages. So I could plug that into my calendar, and it's just so like I feel like it's a genius idea to do this. So self-care menu for myself with all the things that I like to do for self-care, and then I can just pick and choose. This part of my planner is a calendar overview. If I want to see the full zoomed out version of the month, this is where I'll go, and you can see that it already has the tasks that I put for the week. I wanted to show you how I would plug in my self-care menu. I have a button here. I love the button features on Notion. It's so fun. It comes up on a side peek, which is amazing because then I can see 2 different pages at once, and then all I would have to do is if I want to treat myself to ice cream, I would just plug it in here for Monday, and then ice cream would just show up. And that way I know that I already got ice cream as a self-care, and so it'll erase from here. But I do have a reset button on the self-care menu too, so that it will reload every month, so I don't have to rethink of all of these self-care things again. I know, genius, tell me about it. So if I use up all of my self-care here, I would just reload it again for next month. I'm going to plug in another one for Tuesday. So let's say I'm going to rewatch a comfort movie on Tuesday because Disney Plus be having a lot of nostalgic movies for me on there, and I really want to watch one, but sometimes I can't with the kids. So maybe I can do that on Tuesday. Okay, and then the last part of my monthly reset planner is just basically a monthly reflection. This is more for the end of the month, just to see where I'm at and then how I can be better for next month, or maybe whatever's working this month, I can just continue on next month. And so these are the questions. What are some wins for the month? I can name them all or just name a few. Where do I need to spend less energy? Because these days we don't want to be spending energy on things that don't serve us. Okay, quote me. And how do I want to feel going into the next month? This part I would really do at the end of the month. And that's basically how I reset for the month. Now I want to show you a little bit more in detail what I do with my whole life map to prepare for the new month. My self priority tracker here, and this is another part of my planner that I'm obsessed with using. But let's just take a moment to appreciate this little quote. Sometimes you just got to remind yourself that you're a bad little berry bitch with a juicy little booty who deserves everything coming your way. And I am obsessed with the berry having a booty. I wish there was a cherry one, but I couldn't find one, so a raspberry it is. With my self priority tracker, I have it laid out for the whole month, and this is what it looks like. So I have it laid out for the whole 30 days or the 31 days in the month, and I will just check off all of these things that I have done to see if I'm on track or how did I do for the day. So for example, if I did my 5 a.m. focus, which is time for me in the morning before the chaos of the children, that I can do things that I want to do, say like edit a YouTube video or plan content or go for a walk. That is my 5 a.m. focus. If I did it, I would check it. If I do 80 ounces of water, if I do my 20-minute get ready routine, because I need to start getting ready in the morning, like getting ready for work, because if I look better, I'll feel better. And that's what that is. So I would check that if I did it, if I do my daily walk, and then if I actually executed the self-care task that I put from the self-care menu. My whole progress bar or my whole progress circle will be complete. And if you can see here, it's all green. But let's say I don't drink 80 ounces of water and I don't do my daily walking, then only about 60% of the circle will be completed. So that would mean I gotta be better. I have to be better. This is just a great way for me to track how I'm doing for the month with my self-care or my habits, if you want to say it like that. It's just another way to hold myself accountable, but it doesn't overwhelm me either because all I'm doing is checking the box. And then for the rest of my monthly reset, this is what it basically looks like. I have a weekly and daily planner here under my personal part of my planner, and this is where I visit it every day. So I put it on here apart from my monthly reset, and so that is there for me to use when I go in daily. Moving on to meals and my meal planner. This is my meal planner and my meal tracker that I've been using for the last couple of months. So at the start of making my planner, I would list out all of the recipes I would use monthly and repeat constantly in rotation. And I took some time to put it onto my planner because with lessening the decision fatigue, it's just an easier way to have all of the meals that I already like and use onto something, and then I just plan it out for the week. I've been incorporating the links for all of the recipes, and some of them I have it in my cookbook that I've been using since I was like in college. So I have it on there, and then I just check the box to show what recipes I'm going to be using for the week because I am a weekly planner. Putting the link into is actually smarter for me because remember, right, work smarter is my theme. I have it all planned out so I don't have to go diving into my favorites folders into TikTok or YouTube to find the recipes. It's just there already. I'm not going to go into too much detail for how I use my shopping list because I did make a video on how I shop for the month and then how I use my budget tracker that's in my planner. So if you want to see that video, I linked it here in the description. Moving on to my cleaning tracker. This is how I've been using the cleaning tracker for quite a while now, but I just changed out the layout for my daily and weekly. With the mental overload, having things stuck in here and trying to remember when I last cleaned something is one of the things that is so annoying. And one way that we can fix that is by just setting a date or setting a day in the week that's designated to clean one area in your house. And that's what I've been doing. So every day I have already the things that I do. That's basically out of habit. But for the week, I already have bathrooms designated for Tuesday, Thursdays for the kitchen, Fridays for the living room. Those weekly must-dos are for like quick cleans. They're not like deep cleans. They're just quick cleans, resets that I do for the week. And I even have designated laundry days too, because that also lessens the decision fatigue. Like I don't have to remember when I last washed the boys' clothes. I know that I'm going to do it on Thursday. And then for the monthly cleaning scorecard, this is also one of my top 5 favorite things in my digital planner, because it is a way for me to keep track of what I'm cleaning for the month, because I am a homemaker, I am a wife, I take care of the house. That's one of my main roles, other than also being a mom and doing the finances and doing the cleaning and the shopping and all of that stuff. You know, you get it because you're watching this, and I know you get it. This scorecard helps me keep track of what I need to clean for the month. So for example, if I need to deep clean the couch, deep clean the carpet, and wall clean and wash the curtains for the living room, it's all there listed out already. I don't have to remember. I get to cleaning it, I'll just check it off, and then 30% will be done already for the living room. So it's all by zones, it's all by areas of the house, just because that's easier for me to understand it. And I like the scorecard version of it. I did watch a lot of YouTube videos on a scorecard and how it works, so I did educate myself on it. But I like it that it promotes you executing your actions. So basically doing more and planning less. And so it's here already planned out for the month. And then all I have to do is go to it, check for the day, if I can clean the fridge, I will check it off, and then I will be done for the month. And I like having this instead of inputting it onto my calendar, because I feel like a failure if I don't end up cleaning it on the day that I said I was going to clean it. So instead, I would rather just go onto my cleaning scorecard, see if I have energy and time to deep clean the oven today. And if I do, then I will do it, and then I will check it off once it's done. That's just what's been working for me. Doesn't have to work for you, but that's just the way that I like to do it, and how I like to clean, or how I like to keep track of what I'm cleaning for the month. And then I also have other cleaning tasks like quarterly, biannual, and annual, things that I'm not cleaning monthly, but it's just a quick view of what it is. So these are the things that I already did. I got this idea off of my bullet journal that I used to do, but I just put it into my digital planner because I liked the way that it looked. It really did help me keep track of what I was cleaning throughout the whole year. So for the budget tracker portion of my calendar, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I already have a video showing how my budget tracker works. And if you want to check that out, I linked it in the description. But basically, I like to budget for the week too. I do have a monthly budget, but for this week specifically, I have a fixed budget and I will use that for the whole week. The fixed budget for this month or this week is $300. If I spend $60 of groceries in the week, then my total expenses will show $60, and then the working balance that I have would be $240 left. And so I know I would have that much left over to use in our budget. Then if I spent $50 on gas, it would show here that I spent total 110 already for the week, and my working balance that I have to use is 190. So that's just in a real quick nutshell how my budget tracker works. I do have a different system that I use for our finances. So if you want to learn more about what I do use for our finances, consider subscribing so that you can check out that video whenever I get it posted. Lastly is because I am also a content creator, a small content creator, and I am trying to grow my YouTube channel, I feel like I need a map for my content. And specifically for YouTube, I need a plan. And this is the way that I like to plan out my video ideas. Really simple. It's just a weekly calendar, and I just plug in the ideas that I have and when I'm gonna plan to film it or when I plan to upload it. And then I have a parking lot of all of the ideas, that the idea dumps that I've done for the week too. So lastly, I want to show you my task manager. This is basically just my bestie on here. She shows me my 4 different calendars that I constantly look at throughout the month in different views, because like I said, I don't want to see my whole month of things that I'm doing on one calendar. I like to see them on separate calendars, and I like that option here in Notion. And that's how I plan and prepare for the new month using my digital planner that I created in Notion. The system I created is just functional for me. Instead of doing more, I get to focus more on what really matters. And that's truly the goal. That's truly the intention that I have for helping myself with lessening the overwhelm, lessening the decision fatigue. So if you're a mom trying to hold it all together, because I know I'm not the only one out there, I highly recommend creating a system that meets you where you are right now in whatever season that you're in. If you want to see more about how I use Notion or how I made this planner, then let me know in the comments. From one overwhelmed mom to another, you are doing great.